On this day in Tudor history, the 15th of October 1542, courtier, diplomat and sea commander William Fitzwilliam, Earl of Southampton, died at Newcastle upon Tyne while marching north to serve against Scotland under the Duke of Norfolk. He seems to have been buried there, an unceremonious end on the road for a man who'd spent 3 decades at the very centre of Henry VIII's world. I'm historian and author Claire Ridgway, and today I want to trace the life of a king's boyhood companion who grew into one of his most trusted and most useful servants. Southampton was born in around 1490, the third son of Sir Thomas Fitzwilliam and Lucy Neville, daughter of the Marquis of Montague. Fortune favoured him early. When he was about 10, thanks to the influence of his stepfather, Sir Anthony Browne, Henry VII's standard-bearer and constable of Calais, the young William was placed in the household of Prince Henry. He grew up beside the future king, educated with him, learning the arts of the tilt-yard and the habits of a court that would soon be his workplace. War tested him early. In 1512, he sailed with Thomas Grey, Marquis of Dorset, to Guienne, then followed Sir Edward Howard in a fraught naval strike on Brest. Howard was killed and Fitzwilliam took a crossbow wound. But he was back on his feet quickly enough to lead a campaign of the King's Guard and to be knighted at Tournai. That same autumn, he married Mabel Clifford, with Henry VIII himself attending. The 1520s made him indispensable. As Vice Admiral under the Earl of Surrey, Fitzwilliam helped organise Henry's convoy to the glittering field of cloth of gold in 1520, then attended the king at Gravelines for meetings with Emperor Charles V. In 1521, he became resident ambassador in France, recalled the following year through bouts of ill health that dogged him off and on. Back in England, he threw himself into preparing ships at Portsmouth for war with France, before joining Surrey in burning French towns. The following year, his fleet were victorious against the Scottish and French off the coast of Boleyn. Calais became almost a second home to him. Joint Master of the Ordnance there in 1522, Captain of Guienne in 1523, and later Lieutenant of Calais Castle. At court, his rise was steady. Treasurer of the household by 1525, Knight of the Garter in 1526, then Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster in 1529. He'd been close to Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, but when the wind turned, he helped manage proceedings against his old master. A reminder that survival at Tudor court often meant bending without breaking. He sat in Parliament for Surrey in 1529 and again in 1536. And after the death of Henry VIII's illegitimate son, Henry Fitzroy, in 1536, Fitzwilliam became Lord High Admiral of England. And that spring, as Queen Anne Boleyn fell, one man accused of sleeping with her, groom of the stool Sir Henry Norris, claimed that Fitzwilliam had tricked him into a confession. In 1537, he was created Earl of Southampton. He examined Geoffrey Pole and Margaret Pole, Countess of Salisbury, in 1538, and in 1540 he helped question his former friend Thomas Cromwell. Late in 1539, he had stood among those who welcomed Anne of Cleves at Calais and praised her beauty, then delivered the awkward message that Henry wanted an annulment, even serving as a witness in the proceedings in 1540. After Cromwell's fall, he was made Lord Privy Seal, and in the House of Lords he helped introduce the measure that became the Navigation Act, a neat fit for a seasoned admiral. In 1541, he was again at the heart of stormy business, helping to investigate Queen Catherine Howard's past. And in 1542, he was still useful, still tireless. He set out for the northern border to serve as admiral against the Scots, only to die at Newcastle on the 15th of October. With no surviving children, his earldom became extinct. So who was William Fitzwilliam? A boyhood companion who matured into the king's all-purpose fixer? Soldier, sailor, ambassador, household officer, inquisitor when required, And finally, a great officer of state. He wasn't a headline figure, but he turns up at every key moment. Naval build-up, border campaigns, royal marriages and annulments, and ministerial rises and falls. If you enjoyed this on this day, then please do like, subscribe and ring the bell for more daily Tudor history. And if you want even more Tudor history, then do consider becoming one of my channel members on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.